Welcome. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about factorizing quadratic trinomials. Now, this is a skill that is taught to you in Year 9, but then you continue using it in Year 10, Year 11, and Year 12. It is a very important skill, and I'm very excited to be introducing it to you now. What are our learning intentions for this lesson? To know the form of a quadratic trinomial, to understand how a quadratic trinomial is formed from a binomial expansion, and then to know how to find the numbers required to express a quadratic trinomial in factorized form. Okay, so let's begin by working through some theory here. So in previous lessons, we've learned all about expanding and factorizing, and they are opposite operations. So if I want to undo an expansion, I factorize. If I want to undo a factorization, I expand. So over here, we have the factorized form. And if we were to expand this, and we would apply a binomial expansion here, bi meaning 2, and it's because we have 2 terms there and 2 terms here, so we're doing a binomial expansion, we would end up with this. So if we expand this, we end up with this. Now, as you can see, this has 1, 2, 3 terms in it, and because it has 3 terms in it, we call it a trinomial. So can you come here and write in trinomial, just so you know that this is a trinomial. Now, what we're going to be doing in this lesson is learning how we can start with this and end up with this by factorizing. So we're going to learn how to factorize something that looks like this in order to get this out. That's what we're going to be learning. So let's rub out all this and let's read how we would do this. So to factorize a quadratic trinomial of the form x squared plus bx plus c, find 2 numbers that multiply to give c and add to give b. So as you can see, we need to find 2 numbers that multiply together to give us c, and those 2 same numbers have to add together to give us b, and b is the coefficient of x there. So at the moment, this all seems a little abstract. So let's kind of take a step back and do something we know how to do, and that is we know how to expand. So let us come here and expand this out for us. So we would apply binomial expansion here. So I'm going to go this times this is equal to x squared. Then I'd go x times negative 4 is negative 4x. Then I'd go 2 times x is plus 2x. And then I'd go 2 times negative 4, it's going to be negative 8. Then I gather my like terms. I've got x squared there. Then I've got negative 4x plus 2x, that's going to be negative 2x, and then I have negative 8 there. Perfect. Again, let's stop and just reflect upon where these numbers come from. So where did this negative 8 come from, and where did this negative 2 come from? Okay, let's start with the negative 8. So let me get out a highlighter. Where did this negative 8 come from? Well, it came from multiplying this positive 2 and this negative 4. So let's write that down. Let's come and write that down. This negative 8 came from going 2 times negative 4 is equal to negative 8. That's how we got that negative 8 there. The next question we're going to ask ourselves is, where did this negative 2 come from? So the coefficient of the x, where did this negative 2 come from? Well, it came from plussing together this and this. And where did these numbers come from? Well, it just comes from the fact that, x multiplied by negative 4 is negative 4x, and 2 multiplied by x is 2x there. So, we really just have to care about this 2 here and this negative 4 there. And we really just added those together. As you can see here, we just added them together. So 2 plus negative 4 is equal to negative 2. That's where we got it from. We really just added together these 2 numbers there, and that became the coefficient of this middle term. So if we come here and we say, here's positive 2, and we added that with negative 4, and then we can say 2 plus negative 4 is going to be negative 2. And as you can see, this negative 2 is where we got this from. And then this negative 8 is how we got this negative 8. So this is where we really need to stop and appreciate something. 2 multiplied by negative 4 is negative 8. 2 plus negative 4 is negative 2. So we found 2 numbers that multiply to give us C, or this last term here, and add to give us B, which is this coefficient of the middle term. That's what we've done. Now, we've seen this by expanding, but what questions are going to ask of us is to factorize. The instruction, the action that you're going to be asked to do is to factorize. So they're going to give you something that looks like this, and they're going to say factorize it. And what you're going to do, knowing this, is you're going to say, all right, I need to find two numbers that sum to give me the coefficient of this middle term, so -2, and those two same numbers need to multiply to give me the last term, so two numbers that multiply to give me -8. Let me repeat that because it's so important. You need to find two numbers that sum to -2, and those same two numbers need to multiply to get you -8. And hopefully, just by thinking about it, you'll be able to go, well, 2 plus -4 is equal to -2, huzzah, and then 2 times -4 is going to give me -8, hooray. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here and you're going to go, we have x, something, something, x. So all I need to do now to put it into factorized form, and remember my factorized form is what I have up here, is I need to figure out what these numbers are going to be. Well, because I have 2, I put a 2 there, and then because I have -4, I put a -4 there. And that's how we approach it. So I took this 2, and I put it there. Then I took this -4, and I put it there. That's how we approach these types of questions. That is the process of factorizing. I might pause the video here because I don't want to get too long. I want there to be multiple parts so you can kind of just take a minute to absorb all this information. But I'm now going to go through some examples with you. So pause the video now and click on the next video where I go through some examples with you. All right, see ya.